Yeah, we got a lot of paper.
Wow. I got my old stuff on from this morning. Oh, sorry. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You call me in order?
You wanna do the agenda? I'll do the agenda.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda, January 9th, 2024.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for January 2nd.
Second that.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion closed. Meetings attended, Sean?
Only thing I had was, met with Geo, the roof is done, with the exception of a little bit of trim work. Thank goodness we got it done before this happened. We're gonna have a walkthrough here whenever the weather changes and gets a little better, and the people will be coming down to do inspection. I'm assuming I'll be there at that same time, and then that's when our warranty will begin. So there may be a piece of paper. Did Gio bring you any sort of paperwork on the warranty stuff
For
for the
the,
roof?
no,
complex?
he is not
Okay.
brought it in.
He gave it to me. I didn't know if he was, if mine was a copy or I needed to get to you, but I'll get it to
Yeah,
you, and
Okay.
it basically says who the owner is and
Okay,
that kind of stuff. So I will get that to you.
okay,
How long is the warranty?
I think it's 25 years. I think. I'll double check that. If it's not, it's 20,
20, I think, on material or 25.
something like that.
Did you see, I sent pictures of a truckload of material that was left over, was hauled out. I was out there, windows, but we need to follow, that is our material, and
Like rolled material or?
no, like insulation, 4x8 sheets of styrofoam, which are $60 a piece.
Okay.
Here's a picture, I'll just show you. There's approximately over 100 sheets. There's a trailer full of it right there, and I got 2 pictures. Wait, I had it on, I touched the screen, okay. But here's them hauling out, this is double stacked,
And
and here's,
if we get it back, where are we gonna put it?
I just want the money, I just,
Oh.
it's not,
Oh, okay.
there's the remove.
Oh, I get it.
We paid for
I
material,
get
I
it.
just took a picture of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. And there's probably, way that stuff is, say $60-70 a sheet, $7,000, $8,000 possibly.
Okay. I will make sure.
Chris, did you have anything else, Sean?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have nothing that I can think of.
I took Burlington glass out and we measured windows on public health side only, on just that side, and got measurements, gonna get some, and then, I wanted to kind of get an idea where we at ballpark. And then we can put something out.
For
And,
budgeting, yeah.
yeah. We had, Tyler, did he call us, call you guys too?
Yep.
Yeah, I met with him, Sean, I know that he said he talked to the other 2 of you. But kind of give us an update on a couple things that was misunderstood a little bit, but they, so everything's good. Friday, I sat down, went through one of our Salinas, and we went through the budget a little bit, kind of got a good idea of where we're going and where we're gonna be at. Don't look too bad, but we still have some difficult decisions to make. Yesterday I met with Mike with Southeastern Regional Planning, going over housing, upcoming projects. Basically housing in Wilmington County and some of the things that we need help on as far as trying to get some funding on getting that done. The other thing was, going through his list. Contacted several people, on the board appointments, got a lot answered. Some are gonna continue, some. No, I had a couple more meetings, but I can't really do it. That's it. Okay, any public input?
For public input, Jim, can I ask you a question? Is the paper gonna have where people can caucus? In Thursday's or Wednesday's paper?
Probably not, just, I wrote a little bit on where the meeting, where the caucus is for the meeting. So, except for the Democrats, the Republicans had theirs in the week or the week before.
The Democrats had it last week.
Last week is just the opposite.
Okay,
Yeah, Republicans.
so the Republican one, where the locations will be, should be in this week's. I sent something on them.
Okay, all the locations, because people are asking, especially older people that aren't.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have it the last time.
Should have been the week before.
Yeah, they had a write up on it, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Not. People have to call people, I guess.
Yes, but it's gonna help get attendance too.
Yeah.
Sean, I see you had the payroll changes, everybody.
Yeah.
Chris, have you had a chance to look at them?
Yeah,
Yep, they went back that way.
they're right here.
Okay, also the ambulance reports. You take time, to read those, please.
Can we back up on the payroll team,
Sure.
I saw some resignations, but I didn't see any payouts or anything. That come later.
I asked about it and I believe they're going to use their time
Yeah, okay.
or
That was my
I-
assumption. I knew Roxanne was using up her time. And I heard that Kurt was, but. I just
Yeah,
wanted
and
to-
as far as I know, yeah, because his end date is the 12th, I believe, which is this
All right.
Friday.
Very good.
Okay, here's the WAPA report. Anybody haven't seen it?
Did I not have one? I got one.
You should have one,
I got one.
should have.
I got one.
Where's,
Done too.
okay,
You should have the morning suns also.
I haven't seen one, so it's in here.
Nope. I gotta hear if you don't have, she said something about dropping it off in your desk.
$64 runs in December. That's
Lot.
2 a day, roughly. Maybe a little more.
They must be doing a mutual aid for morning sun, cause they took the pickup over there this morning about 6:30.
Yeah, that's, they probably didn't have a medic on staff, so. Damon takes a lot of those.
Yeah,
Mike takes a lot of those too.
I had their driveway nice and clean, so.
Waplo keeps track of their out of Waplo areas, if you've noticed
Mhm.
that one. The Morning Sun had 19 calls this month.
Which is a lot.
7 of them were no transport,
Well,
but they still showed up. I wonder if the 4 that are on Waplo's lists are included in this one.
Oh, no. Christmas next year is on Tuesday.
Monday or Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday, right in the middle of the week, because they've got leap year this year.
Oh, that's right, so jump twice, so they end up taking Tuesday.
Oh, let me see, I'm not.
What?
I don't know, I'm half asleep.
We'll meet on Mondays, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
You bring the bike? No.
Snowmobile.
When you walked in, I seen your coat, it had that white on it, I thought, is there snowflake stuck there? That's why I had to get.
Oh.
I have black dogs, they were white this morning.
Yeah, that's what well.
You guys wanna do 16, we get that and then we'll work on the holidays. Please.
Sure.
Is there a paper or?
I don't see one, that's what I was looking for. So. Must be the heat. We just. Is there a point in paper that must be done will fire?
Yes.
There is.
Thank you.
And I don't.
So you guys wanna do the holiday one?
When was that?
That would be
19.
19.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to approve the holidays for 2024, 2025.
and I'll second that.
It's listed on this sheet.
Any discussion?
Are we doing it as on here?
Yeah.
And we'll have the meeting on Monday,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, any discussion at all? If not, all in favor?
Right,
Aye.
And. Ball motion that? Yes.
Sean.
Sean motioned, I second.
You,
Okay, you both got a couple other ones, so. 17, 18.
Okay, I'll make a motion to do the auditor's report. You could just sell one on flat like a quarter, double the budget. You know? Sure.
well, what can we sell?
I don't know.
John will have a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye. Well, I'll hear the auditor and the recorder all the same.
There's a. So,
All right, so you did 18?
But I did half of 18.
Okay. I'll do the second half of 18. I'll make a motion to approve the recorder's register.
Okay, and I will second that.
and what was that on?
The recorders,
Appointments,
No.
just,
That's quarterly fees.
Yeah,
We've already-
we already did that, I thought we just did that.
he did half.
well, I only did the auditor, I had.
Oh, okay, get split it up, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so
Any, all in favor?
Aye,
I just thought you did them both together. Okay, 17's also together too, so.
Well, there's 3 auditor, reports, and treasurer appointments.
which I have it here.
Compensation for next week, right?
Yes.
Pardon?
Compensation for this week, for next week.
Yeah, the 8, if we could, table that. Do we need a motion
Yeah.
to table?
Yeah, can I get a motion on number 8 for a table? Aye.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table, Leanne for next week.
I'll second that.
Okay. Okay, motion passed, you're scheduled for next Tuesday.
Okay, I'll make him, have you reviewed the, appointments for the auditor,
I have not. Not that I.
recorder and treasurer?
All right. We'll make the motion to, approve the auditor, recorder, and treasurer's office appointments.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. You have them,
Yeah. All right, I just looking at them like
and
that.
then the other ones too. that, Yep.
Did we already reappointed the Don McCullough?
We're looking for the sheet, sign our sheet.
I don't have anything. It was an email from Muscatine County. From Nancy Schreiber.
I don't think there's anything to sign, it's just they need to take
It's
action.
just, yeah,
Okay, you have a motion on that, guys?
Okay, I'll make a motion to reappoint Don McCullough to Conesville Benefit Fire as requested by Muscatine County.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion. Let's work on the board appointments, which I feel over there. Selena, did you get this all updated from where we was talking?
yes, the highlight, we did not receive any Board of Health applications. For the board. The 5th was the deadline. And I talked to Leah and she did not receive any either. And then we have the Louisa County Zoning Board of Adjustment. And Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Board, you had talked to Adair, have they, has she announced?
Also, I talked to Mike yesterday, we can only have 2 appointments on that. So we have that completed,
Oh, on the Southeast Iowa Regional Planning. Okay.
so the 2 is on there, we're good,
Okay,
no more on that one.
and then you were gonna, Becky Barton Hagan was a yes.
Yeah, she will
On
be
the
on
planning
it for
and
5
zoning.
years,
Mark Spitznagel.
we need to
we need to
replace.
In the landfill. Jack Rife and Mary Boyson.
Was able to get a hold of Jack, Mary, was no,
Okay, did you get a hold of? You
I haven't
said-
talked to Randy. yet,
Okay,
but I will.
okay, but it looks like we just need. Here's. Here's the email from Lucy Schreiber.
Where you found it?
It was stapled to my board appointments and it might be on those. Yeah,
I'll just put it right here.
yeah, I need a copy.
Oh, yeah, it was on mine too. It was stapled to all words on the very back of the,
Yeah, okay, you don't need copy.
nope, it was everybody got it.
That's, I mean, just take a look at me.
My copy. I copied everybody I was supposed to talk to.
Yeah, December 29th is one day.
Got it.
Well, so Mary wants off the,
Yes, she would like to get off. She's been on it for 20 years and she says, she just.
Yeah.
I told her thank her and,
yeah, we can put Randy Sleuth on it right now. And then you,
well, we got, Randy was gonna talk to, but we can put. If you're interested, are you interested? now?
yeah, let's go ahead, let's at least get one of them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Have a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion, but have Randy Sleuth replace Mary Boyson on the solid waste board.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, now we got, Jack, I'll get a hold of him and see if he's still there.
Okay.
And
And then we just need to replace one on planning and zoning and one on zoning board of adjustment.
correct. What was the three I talked to the other day? What group was that? I called all three of them. Let's see where that changes on there.
Well, Sean Allworth,
Yeah, but
Becky Bartenhagen,
no, I called three on one group.
3 on 1 group.
Yeah. Oh, it was on the regional planning. But I thought the bill, Mark Houston and they're out going in. I think all three, maybe that was 23. Everything's caught on fire along the road, but it should be a 3-year appointment, just a year. I talked to all three of them and they said they would go on that.
Oh,
It is slipping.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, and that was, I think it was expiring.
Southeast Iowa.
Yeah,
Planning.
and that's a 3-year term, so it should have went to 26, so
Yeah.
instead of 20 hours. Because all three of them said they would serve again.
Okay. And I believe I received an email and I'm gonna put it on. I received it Friday after I sent the agenda. From a gentleman from Southeast Iowa Regional. They are wanting to split on that. Terms go a 1 year, a 2 year, and I think a 3 year. But, and I have to do a resolution, so.
Which one's that on?
That's the one, Brooklyn, Holcomb, Mark Houston.
Oh, but they don't all leave at once.
So they don't all leave at once.
Gotcha. Nope, we can do that.
Okay, we can have that.
Okay, makes sense. And then I talked to Dr. Towner last week at her medical exam, and he said he's probably gonna do it a couple more years, but he did take the next term on. I guess he's retired out of his practice and stuff, so. We talked a little while. Also in the meetings, go back to, I got a hold of, insurance. We had to buy or unhook one of our heat monitors over the boilers. And we put it into play. We called the insurance company, what that is, what was going on. Gonna get the unit put back on, but it was going off prematurely without any problems. There is another one in the basement on the other side, so we're leaving the doors open. Where it can seek it, but I talked to insurance Friday, so we'll let them know when it gets back in, but. It's probably,
That's the boiler at the courthouse.
yeah, courthouse heat monitor for the basement. There's 2 monitors in the basement. And we're getting a price on the system's not being supported, it's probably 25 years old, so we're just gonna see. There's not much to it, it's all in conduit, so it won't be a big deal, the wires look really good. They're the fire rated cables and stuff like that, so we'll just get some ideas what it's gonna cost, so. That's it, I forgot that. That was Friday, wasn't it?
Mhm. It was Alexander from Vermont.
It should be, the Adam, it's that FM CO 5867.
Oh, that's,
That bridge,
yeah.
it's gonna be Adam, so is he gonna be here for the 9:15 or before?
He'll be here at 9 for his regular meeting. Susan's here to discuss the budget information that she had put together.
Okay. You got time to jump that out.
And the heating you should do.
And then it's in your packet. But it's these two papers. That she was going to talk.
Oh, it's in the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had discussed that with me Friday and, used to review that with Chris and Sean. This is item number 8 of its team, and then number 9, so we're going to discuss, Susan's going to review these grades.
I'm able to locate that if he's talking about Susie is in talking.
Oh, that's, I don't have anything on it, they're just here to. Regarding the heating issue.
Oh,
And
okay.
the date.
Please go ahead.
You want them to go ahead or Susan on this?
What time, Susan, where's she at?
That was for the department head meeting at 9:45. Do you want?
Is anybody else coming?
They're all on Zoom.
Oh.
And it was just now, since number 8 is tabled. I believe we were number 9, you were just needing to review. The upcoming budget, and Susan was just going to go through the rates. On these 2 papers.
Sound good? I just figured they.
Do you wanna cover the heating issue first, then get into the budget?
Where I was heading, but let's just go ahead and do the
Okay.
budget.
Want the budget?
Please.
Okay, all right. So I contacted the Department of Management, just to clarify, so I made sure that our numbers are what they should be. And the maximum levy that we are allowed for the general basic for 2025 will be the 4.47248. because of our 3%. Our growth is over 3%. It kind of puts limits on us. If our growth was under the 3%, then we would have had the option that. I know there was talk about moving from general basic to rural. Because of our growth, we cannot do that. So there is limitations, and you'll see with the rural basic. We did actually go down also to 2.67796. That is the maximum that we can get for both general basic and rural. So then I went ahead and did the comparison. So for the tax revenue from 23, 24 to 24, 25, there's only an increase of $207,000. From last year's budget to this year's. And that's maximum. There's no way around it.
Anything else without questions? You ready for questions?
Yeah, we can.
Any questions here and online? You guys got any questions?
I talked to Taylor. Taylor said that I'm not saying he knows more than you by
Yeah.
any stretch. And if I heard him right, he said that when it was rural basic, it had to be 0 growth before we could do the change.
I would have to talk to Carrie at the Department of Management again. She said we'd have to look at next year's numbers to see what possibly we can do next year.
Okay.
Because she said there's been a lot of talk of things changing anyway. So she wasn't too worried about the 3.5, where we were all kind of worried about getting
Right.
down to that 3.5.
Right.
She's not even worried about that. She's just telling us that what our maximum is that is allowed for this time around.
I think it makes sense to look at that next year and that rural basic balance and see that's what we can do there.
Definitely.
Online folks, got any questions?
Do you want me to unmute all of them?
If they want to speak. All right, yeah.
That's 270,000 more evaluation or 270,000 more budget,
207,000
so
more in the budget.
just more.
Yeah, more money in the budget, yes. That'll be an increase in the budget from what it was last year. So between everybody's budgets and everything, we'll only have that extra 207,000 to mess with. And that includes general basic and rural. Now supplemental, keep in mind, there's play that we can use with that, but there is Code of Iowa limitations of what we can use for supplemental. So there's not much besides like, what is it, health insurance and, different regulations of what they.
It just bugs me the way the state wants to come regulate our budgets.
Mhm.
It's about, we we're the one that collects the taxes for the schools. It's about like us to say the schools, well, you're getting 58%. We want to give you 48%.
Mhm.
That's just what this is like. And it ain't right.
Yeah, oh, I totally agree. It's kind of like double dipping because of the rollback was usually used to kind of maintain everything, and now they put the limitations on our levy and they put the limitations on the rollback, and it really hurt us this year.
Yeah.
So,
And we're not able to move any more deputies to the rural basic
no, not at
this
this,
year, but we can do it for next year.
possibly, we have to go year by year basis at this point to see where we fall next year
Our growth.
on our growth and everything. We'll have to see where we fall.
And we just have two
I'm sorry.
deputies.
I think it was 2 or 3, I think it is.
What qualifies them to go on rural basic? Just money?
Basically, they're considered for rural area. They're not necessarily in the city use or anything, which all deputies really would be considered partial rural.
Except
So-
Before we took on towns.
Right, that's what I was gonna say, the
There was-
exception would be.
Before we took on Wapello, half the deputies was rural and half was.
How many deputies you got on staff, Brandon?
It's total 15 with the sheriff, 400 contract.
Now that we've got 2 on.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's all about the percentages and how we can How are the school resource officers handled?
I'm not exactly sure, but you know, it's paid, the school's paid
Paying
75%
most
of
of it,
revenue,
yeah.
and they pay 25%.
Right.
So I don't know what line item that's what we needed to figure
They're
out.
on, I believe in general basic.
Are they? I mean, that's a small piece, but you add up a lot of small pieces and it comes up to something a little larger, so
Yeah.
just trying to think out of the box a little bit.
Which next year we'll possibly be able to do some of that,
Unless you have a growth in rural base.
yeah, unless we have growth again,
And growth's a good thing,
but.
you can't reallocate if you have that.
But what do we
Unless they
have that's gonna
change.
cause growth? I doubt if they're gonna go through and evaluate taxes like they did before, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta be. You know, you can be thinking ahead, but we're gonna have to start thinking that there's not gonna be that large growth that we've seen this time, because it is did the taxes. And they probably won't do that same amount again. You know what I'm saying? So you probably.
How many, historically, if you look back, how many years do we have zero growth and growth? Has anybody looked back 10 years to say,
I haven't.
you know, 8 out of the 10, we don't have growth?
We went several years without evaluations of properties and
Well, I think aren't they doing residential this
Mhm.
year?
Yeah, she's
They
been.
did commercial last year, residential this year.
part of the county.
Say
I don't think
Jennifer,
it's-
she's on, she would be one to ask on the assessors.
Cause they did partial,
But most of your commercials within city limits. Not, am I looking at that right? Rural and basic?
yeah, we have. Some out in the country and Tyson's out in the county.
That's
And
true.
um,
So if they're gonna do a home reevaluation, property reevaluation next year, then that very well could reflect on that.
way I understand it, it's just a partial, because they did a lot of it. In sections, but.
Okay.
So we just gotta keep that in mind that. There might not be a whole lot of growth unless something changes. Hopefully, but. No.
We'll just have to keep it in mind too for the budget this year, what we actually have to deal with.
Yeah, prepare for it.
Yeah,
So our number that we're using this year is a 7.1 million. Is that that's our budget number, the bottom line,
that's what is the estimated tax
7.14,
revenue, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And
And with the
number I wanna
maxes that
say,
we can
yeah.
have.
And then keep that in mind, that's where the supplemental could possibly change that number a little bit, depending on what the.
up or down,
Either,
okay,
depending on what comes in the budget,
all right, well, that's at least the number that I need to see
yeah.
to know how to handle other things.
Yep.
Any other discussions? Going once,
Mhm.
once. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
No.
You guys are up. Been good, Toasty.
That's good. It's very toasty still in the kitchen. So just for the last 5 days, it's ranges anywhere between 88 and 89 degrees. With no windows open. If we open windows, it only drops it to 80 degrees. Kind of defeats the purpose to have heat if we have to open up windows to cool down the kitchen. It's very, very toasty over there. Tracy did go through and I don't know the correct terminology on heating, but he did fold over the 3 of our heating ducts to try and make it so less heat was coming down in the kitchen. It's still really toasty above the ceiling tiles. Still, I have one kitchen staff complain that it's making her sick again because it's so hot. I believe that this is probably affecting what's going on with our freezer system, has been going on for a long time. that it's, the condensation on the inside is terrible. We have to chisel it off all the time just to get our freezer door open. We really gotta figure out what we're gonna do about our heat out there before someone gets sick, we start getting mold again. It's, you can't wear shorts in the kitchen, you know, to be
No.
cool enough.
And I know where we're not gonna go back to that company that hasn't, they've been up for like 6 times, and nothing's.
And nothing's really going on. I mean, there's no way to control the heat even. I mean, I can't find one thermostat to even control the heat out there.
And it's a simple system, so I don't know, maybe, I was telling Brandon, maybe we'll just get a hold of Dave and just,
Yeah, we're gonna have
Or
to.
go with Northwest Mechanical, put this on one engineer.
yeah,
You're gonna ruin a lot of,
let's just get Dave, I'll just get a hold of him he's gonna get it, he's always got it done and get on it right away and.
You can't find a thermostat that runs
I'm
that.
telling you,
there's thermostats
there's
there.
thermostats, you pick off the thing to look at it and there's no insides to anything. Or you take it off and you can turn it all you want, but it's not changing the heat at all.
Let's say that we're running and it's by the window, now you're pumping more hot air into hot
Yeah.
air.
It's a
You're wasting so much money, you're gonna ruin the refrigerators. But long story short, we're here just, we gotta get it taken care of from the beginning to the end. We need either somebody to assign us to do it, and just get it done. Absolutely, it's gonna cost money, but you're gonna ruin it, you're gonna ruin a bunch of stuff out there.
And we're spending money on propane and heat that we don't.
That's-
need.
We are,
yeah.
absolutely.
Wasting money.
And I don't mean to sound like a broken record over it, but it's just
Yeah,
every day I have a complaint, you know, from the cooks, and I get it. You know, I understand there's nothing more I can do, you know, besides opening up all the windows. We can't open the doors because then it lets birds in, you know, thankfully it's winter out, so we don't have fly problems.
Kind of a security risk.
It's also, yeah, a
Yeah.
security issue. You can truly tell the difference between, you know, conservation in the kitchen or us in the kitchen, public health. I
so
mean,
is it focused in the kitchen? Is that
I mean, I think conservation would love to have more heat, you know, like,
It's the opposite.
like
down
we
here.
have.
The solar-
Correct. We're freezing in conservation. It's kind of like a campfire.
The buns,
We wear blankets and, gloves on our hands.
They're freezing and the kitchen's, you know, over hot. I mean, we gotta figure out something on that wing.
What it is every heater has a solenoid valve and the solenoid valves are not working. And some of them are, and many of them are not. So
Well, who's gonna make the phone call?
I'll call Dave, but I shouldn't have to. It should be the maintenance, but I'll do it.
As long as it gets done, I wanna know who's doing it, so.
Morning.
Good morning. You might won't know more about it than Tracy anyway, so. Trying to take anything away from him, what he was saying. It might work out better that way. I'm sure Dave's not busy right now either, though. I mean, come on.
He was pushing snow in the north this morning.
Oh, is he?
Hey, Dave, this is Bradford. Would you give me a call 563-272-8815? You got a chance? Thank you. Bye. Okay. Anything else?
Not for me.
no, just need to, it probably needs to be insulated too, boiler room up top there, like I said, it's. Heating issue is one thing, but that area needs to be insulated to protect the refrigeration. So that, I think that's one of the things that's gonna cause major damage to the refrigeration if we don't get that solved too, so. Two technical issues, I guess.
Well, on a good note, we did get the roof pretty well finished. so.
Yeah, very much so.
They had to do some trim work that's still left. Geo said do some trim work.
I will say, I mean, it's given us more heat today than it ever has the whole time I've been there. I mean, replacing that roof has really
Oh, yeah.
helped
We don't have anything on our.
tremendously. I don't have my heater on at all right now. I mean, it's on, but
It's good.
it's not freezing anymore,
Maybe till next week now.
maybe.
We'll see how it really is next week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, stay on Dave, we'll see if we can't, if he can't, maybe he can give us a recommendation.
I can absolutely do that. I don't wanna step on anybody's
No.
toe, you know, any maintenance or whoever you guys just, you just gotta get it done. you
Yeah.
know?
No, I appreciate that.
Anything else? Yeah.
Adam Parsons, you're probably here for the department head meeting on the budget.
Damn.
And we just,
You table that?
No, we just went over it.
we went over it and there's done.
No, but we approved your new hire, so that's a good thing.
You went over the budget early?
Oh, yeah, it's done. Where you guys been done? Yeah, I don't care.
From a legal standpoint, when you advertise a specific line, you should wait until the time.
Yeah.
We're just having fun with it.
What we had on there was we got their maxes on our real basic. And it gives us over last year's $207,291.
Extra revenue.
Again, I was ready for 9:45. Here we are. All right, so what's the numbers from last year?
Here,
Yeah, thank you.
Now you need to go.
I did. Hey, we got these the heaters out there at the complex and got the solenoid valves on them.
So are you doing your?
Can you go through them out there and get the ones for the regulate our thermostat?
Sure. I can do my engineers. Like 10 minutes.
Well, some of them are air on the main ones, but these are all electronic because they got a thermostat on there. They have wires coming off them like a solenoid.
Did you need me to sign those papers and send them back?
Yeah.
That you emailed me?
It's the wall units.
I'll run them up later today.
What's that?
I'll run them up later today.
Okay, sounds good, then I'll get them over to you later.
Yeah, the ones I looked at.
They're up top as well. Those two. In that area. Thanks. Yes, ma'am. This is for you, this is for the later discussion.
Right, yep, on that main, yeah.
No, it's been like this.
Yeah, out there in the kitchen area, they've had trouble controlling it, and on the other end of the building, they have trouble getting control. That might be a very issue as far as getting them down that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could just walk. Well, and that's where it's above and beyond our maintenance staff to do that. Well, yeah, and that would be the issue occur on the other end, but whether it's too hot, that means that the valve is not regulating. Yeah. Yep.
3 from the new Texas.
You got anybody who can take a look at that?
I wonder if that's.
Not, no, I'm not saying today, no, I'm just saying,
It's taking all the.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then next week or
Yeah,
something.
let's get them fresh off the boiler and pull their weight.
Then having the,
Yeah,
Right.
if you could shut the kitchen down and get more heat back down the way of these.
Oh, that's just sort of, yeah, to keep your match. So.
Okay.
200 is, you gotta take that off, and that's what you have to work with. I'm sure to explain that. And it's good as it has, and your home address.
Okay.
Really.
well, that's what I'm gonna check with you. That's on Sean counts.
I kept reading for you.
Last time we were under the state took away 44.
That's,
Yeah, it's kind of a mix, but
That is.
yeah, we'll check with that and see if I can get
I think
it.
it's in the
but you should
constitution.
money around the edge of your building.
You know, it's not.
That's one of the first one thing, when it's late and then you could actually
Okay.
be freezing.
I appreciate that. Thanks, buddy.
Any chance I can just jump in and do my update here before the comp board goes at 9:30?
Well, they're not
They're
gonna,
not- that's
It's
postponed
with
to
that
next week.
table at Leanne's not showing up.
Whatever. Okay.
So yes, you can go ahead with your.
Okay, I'll do mine quick. The major agenda item is the it's essentially the final approval of the bridge up on the W66. It's been done for a while, but you gotta go through all the paperwork and get the DOT to sign off.
Do you have all that?
All right. So the 67-foot long by 30-foot long single span bridge up on W66 is about $459,000 out of our farm market account. And everything looks good to me. It's gone through our bridge inspector and it's good, so. Need the board to make motion and the chairperson to sign. Their form didn't have a place, so I made one if you could print and sign.
It's really fancy and official.
And it is fancy and official, but
well, I'll make a motion that we review and sign the final acceptance of the project number FM-CO 58 67-55-58.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Motion passed.
other than that, you know, we're out plowing today, had all the plows and the motor graders out, all 15 of them out. We'll work today, motor graders will probably be done with their routes. They start at 5, so we'll probably be done about 4:30 or 5 or something like that. So plan today is probably work until dark and then go home and come back in at 5, so. About 12 hours a day, though, we run them if they have to come back tomorrow, and then we'll have to come back on Thursday, because we're gonna get a bunch of drifting. Plus we'll get snow Thursday night, and I mean, it's gonna be a long week for our guys. You know, but we're doing okay, we're down a mechanic. He was supposed to work until the end of the week and decided it wasn't for him anymore, so we're down a mechanic. And the guys are doing the best they can to keep things running, and you know, we're seeing a lot of teamwork out there. A lot of guys were going beyond their job to make sure everything keeps going. We did pull our backup truck out of Oakville, and it's ready to go in case something were to happen. So we're as prepared as we can be for what's going to be a hard week. You know, we got all this, and the next week will be the cold, and maybe even the plowing doesn't hurt the machines as much as the cold does. You know, you get hydraulic lines and plowing for that many days in a row, there's things that can happen. So anyway, we are as prepared as we can be. Had some people asking already yesterday if we could come out and put sand on gravel road hills and all that. I said, no, that's not something we do. You know, we were out yesterday, we were scratching up the hills though, and hopefully to create some traction and bring some rock up at the top, and knowing that we were gonna be out, so.
And right now it's pretty wet, so
It is.
it's pushing hard,
It was
but
wet and heavy,
when it freezes, that's when
Yeah.
the problems are gonna happen.
you know. And the chances, you know, all through the day, and those quit sometime overnight, and then it'll blow, so.
It is what it is. Can't
It is
control
what it is, so we're doing what we can, so. Any questions about anything, any policy questions? I mean, I know there's sometimes like, you know, I've been asked, well, why can't you have guys plow and then switch and all that? We just don't have anybody else. I mean, we have Mike who's our backup, but it is what it is, so. All right, I guess that's my report for this week. Thank you.
So let them plow last Saturday, we just practice for today.
Yeah. Yeah, last Saturday was kind of a sneaky one. I know Terry got up at midnight and checked, and 2 o'clock again, and he got up at 4, and all of a sudden there was an inch of snow that kind of snuck up, so. By the time you got everybody himself dressed and ready to go, and we were out at 6, so. all that, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else, guys? Brad?
Hang in there.
Okay.
Could be a long week.
Go over to just the budget for these couple here,
Yeah, and
please.
so. The one sheet shows from the House file, 718, shows what our max rates are gonna be able to be for the general basic and for the rural, because of our 3% growth, this will be the max percentage and what our tax dollars will be for that percentage. And I did call Perry at Department of Management when it's across the street. If our growth is under 3%, yes, we can do the move from general basic to rural. So next year, if we're under 3, we're good. I did talk to the assessors and she said she's only sending out, I want to say, it was under 2,000. I can't remember the exact number, but there's only that many notices of an increase of value going out. So I have a feeling we'll be under the 3% then.
So I was thinking we had most of them done. Yep.
And then if that's the case, we would be able to raise our roll to a max of 3.95 if that's possible.
Okay. Good.
So next year we will possibly have the ability to have growth, but for the rates.
What if we did nothing this year and did it all next year?
Well, the max that we'll be able to get,
We're there,
it's, we pretty much almost have to with our budget that we'll have to,
we're there.
that's at the 4.4 and the 2.6. But that'll only get us the $207,000. So
Hey, how much did we increase our budget last year with the kind of raises we give?
I do not know that
It'd be
answer.
another question to ask. I mean, you
Yeah,
know, did it cost 350,000 to
give the raise.
give the raises or what we did?
Right here from last year, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep, our last year numbers are there,
Yeah, but what it was affected by the
Right.
raises, I don't know.
it's, but there's where we was last year with everything figured in.
Yeah, the 6.9.
6.940 is where we was at last year.
You're asking what the 10% commitment
Right.
for this
Right,
year is
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
what he's asking.
So, not only did the legislature change the tax rates, it also increased the rollback quite a bit as well.
It lowered the rollback. Yeah,
So, a property value at $1 million, at a higher rate, but now it's taxed at, or the actual value of that property is less
Mhm.
than the tax system. So it's kind of a double, a double whammy that maybe they already had a means to lower property taxes through the rollback,
Right.
and then they hit us again with the. All that.
yes.
It's constricting us to this rate.
Right,
It's
so,
almost like whoever passed the bill or authored the bill didn't, pass almost unanimously. It's like they didn't understand or take into consideration the rollback, which is already doing what they intended this bill to do. So now
The one office wasn't talking to the other office.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's unfunded,
Absolutely, yeah.
And now we're the ones paying for it.
but it is out of our hands.
But we have 4 years to comply with this, right?
Well, this part,
No,
these
this part-
numbers are this year.
This year's, so it's effective immediately.
The 3.5 would be like $1 million cut to our budget if that continues to be law 4 years from
Right.
now.
And Carrie wasn't too worried about the 3.5 at this point,
I think that's.
because that's kind of what I was saying, you know, how are we supposed to hit to the 3.5? And she said, at this point, you need to worry about what is this, because she says, honestly, she could see something happening to the bill anyway, by the time it comes around.
And there's other counties close to us, like it's, we're bad, they are terrible, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and like, our county, we could offset our, high general basic rate by increasing our very low rural basic rate to cover some of those rural services, whereas like, Henry County, for example, is high on both. But the bill eliminates our ability to do that, when we have any kind of substantial growth in the valuation. So that's really what it's almost like a triple whammy hitting us, because we can't adjust our rates to bring it back into line. We can't raise our rate. We can't offset it in any way. And there's rollback.
It's not fun.
Right.
Guys got anything else?
Well, so I'm just gonna ask, I guess, so if the. The increase of dollars coming into the county is $207,229, whatever, right? A certain amount of that has to go to secondary roads for the state law, right? And that, per my calculations, last year's valuation versus this year's, that's $44,048 increase is the minimum that can be given to secondary roads, or else we lose our bridge and road use and all those kind of things, right?
I don't think that 207, 391, I think that's, is that right? That's
Just basically total revenue, that's
Yeah.
not,
that's not
that's-
split out. to
that's
the
not split out.
secondary roads.
that's,
What I'm saying is
I know what you.
that you've only got 160 to work with after secondary road.
To keep the state money coming to you.
Yeah. So. I mean, in theory, if you wanted to make it up, you could do sales tax and transfer, what I'm saying, flop it around.
For a different part of your budget.
The secondary road transfer, it doesn't matter where it comes from, rural, basic, whatever, as long as the dollar figures match the same. Other than that, where, we did it in 2013 and lost $41,000 because we were $1,000 under. I mean, I'm guessing those numbers have grown.
So I'd look into that, because I don't know if that is, it's already into that. We'll have to look at that. You think it is?
this is the total dollars, I don't have any.
Yeah, but I'm just saying on that number there, because that's over our budget. If we did that in comparison, I have to understand that a little better. If we're over that and that's comparison, that should be over and above what was last year. And I think that number for secondary road should be already out of that.
I don't think so.
Well, that's what I want to look at. Because that's over budget where we was at last year. Would that be already the amount of that for secondary roads? Let's look into it.
But my understanding, and the auditors can correct me if I'm wrong, that the minimum amount has to be transferred to secondary roads. And my understanding is it comes out of that.
Out of the rule, isn't it?
Yeah, or, well, out of rural or general or tax, or it doesn't matter where it comes from as long as it adds up to that percentage number.
But it's like the figure off the rule, isn't it? It's like a percentage of what we collect from the rule. Is that word?
So the transfer this year to meet the state minimum is $1.525 million. $634, given the valuations of rural and urban.
Okay.
The math adds up to that, so. That's just how they figure that number. Now, how it gets to me, it can be any other variation of things. But what I've been trying to say is you're $207,000 more than last year, $144,000 of it already has come to secondary roads. So we're
We'll
really,
look into that,
Yeah,
see if
we'll
that's
look
true, yeah.
So you're saying you're only collecting the minimum right now?
yes, yeah, absolutely.
You're not, it's not above that.
No, it has never been, but well,
No.
it has never been above the minimum. Funding for the roads, so.
Any other questions?
So, you know, we have 4 different contracts, like I'm saying, with the schools, and you have to budget that whole amount for each 4 of those people, so 2 from Wapello, Plum Junction, and L&M. Would there be a means to somehow just budget the percentages that we actually pay and amend it later on for revenue stream that is automatic in July? No,
I don't, I'd have to look into that, but I don't.
You know what I
believe
mean?
So, yeah, just budget the 25%.
Right.
But I think we have to have
The full amount?
the full amount for tracking, because then the revenue comes in. I'd have to talk to Ide Bailey. Let me talk to Ide Bailey and get back to you.
I guess March 5th is pretty important then too, if you wanna get one on deck and budget it.
So I guess the other question I have is what are our. You know, we're also supposed to have a budget in 2 weeks. What are our guidance or marching orders, or what do you want us to do?
As far as,
Can't really do anything about further numbers.
what we're gonna do is on your, so we have to do your evaluation rate.
Outside of payroll, keep it tight, I guess, would be the marching order is keep your basic budget tight. Keep the fat out if you can,
Wants and needs.
and then we can establish what we need to survive, and then we'll look at what we got for payroll. That's the way
Well, and also 2 ways to reduce your budget, as much as possible, things that we've always maybe been bad on or something like that, look at all aspects of it to get that budget down, but. I think prepare your budget the way it's same, but just look at we're tight and we have to keep things tighter.
Well, I know Henry County, talking with Taylor about the bill, he said Henry County's looking at things that aren't required to be paid for by the county, and they're eliminating those things. Now, I don't know that we want to do a lot of the things that they're doing, like he suggested eliminating our driver's license station, which I don't think is a good policy move. I think people are willing to pay a little bit of extra in taxes to have a local driver's license station. But that's one of the things that he brought up. He said, you know, for example, Henry County was doing some community outreach in schools with their conservation department, doing conservation education. So that's obviously it's not required by the code, so they were going to cut that.
some of those programs that I'm gonna say they're not
They're good
non-essential.
programs, but they're
Non-essential.
not required to
Right.
be paid for
I
by the
agree with
county.
that statement.
Yeah. And so, you know, he said they're examining all of those to look at, you know, which programs they have to be paying for and which ones they don't. And, you know, one example is EMS. EMS is a critical service to our county residents, but the county is not required to pay for it right now. Now, one thing that could ease that a little bit is if the levy passes, we could, I assume the plan was to shift what the county is paying out of its general fund over to be paid for by that levy. Now that would free up a little bit of money. I don't know how much that's projected to raise, but
About 140.
that would be something. So,
Yeah, that
but
helps.
that's dependent on that passing.
Right.
And people understanding that it's not a tax increase, it's a shifting of a tax
Dollars.
burden away from the general fund to that levy rate.
And I think there's some misunderstanding on that as well, because I've heard some talk from the background that we're just adding another tax, and that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
It's it's funding, it's self-funding, not out of the general fund. So.
Any other?
So the plan is for budget presentations, the week after that.
Yes, I'll schedule, I'll get a hold of, because I know there's days that some departments
23rd.
can't meet. So,
Yeah, and I'm gone on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna have it ready for press a month later. In February, and then. Public hearing middle of March.
Okay.
Hopefully something, they'll wake up in the morning and do something different with this.
Wouldn't count on that.
I was told that's the plan, but it probably won't happen this year because there are other priorities.
Yeah.
Knowing the legislature, they'll wait until the fourth year to do anything.
Fund some of the mandates, so we ask. Everything we have is unfunded, we end up getting hurt on. So. Okay. Good discussions. Anything else? You got anything for me? Anybody online? Okay. Thank you.
I know we were joking earlier, but we did start early, so if anybody comes on 9:45, comes in to discuss those, I would recap. And did town board presentation get delayed to a specific time?
It's delayed.
Next week.
April.
Able to probably next week.
I will try and.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
Or,
You know, also we had. They've been paying extra this year. So maybe we just keep that out of the budget. And say request. That would save us $60,000.
I will.
We're gonna do that in the county.
I can do that.
So I don't hurt extra, so we get one car, arrows gonna make years, this is that year. You just keep it on. Same company you get, say, the number that we didn't make it out of.
Okay, so it's-
I don't think that was. We need to do that.
Didn't get the 17 inches in the back.
But I'll say
I'll get you my $1,000
maybe do it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we need a list of this kind of stuff that we're talking.
Maybe size of it.
You're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Bear with me, I'm trying.
Well,
My first, this is my first, so.
Well,
Good.
first for a lot.
Thank you.
That's right. Nope.
No.
No, see you guys later. Thank you.
See you, Brandon.
And that's the thing. Would you have planned on purchasing this year?
Purchasing for
Graders.
graders, I had a dump truck. And the sign truck. And that was it, I was like 440.
Which ones? This year.
Yeah.
If you cut back, or do you lose state funds?
Not necessarily, depends what we can always do it on different things. Just use the money, keep the money there. I'm not saying take it out of it. But instead of cutting on gravel like we was talking, or you had to cut back because of the gravel costs and stuff like that.
I think I think my cuts, if we were ready to talk about it, I mean, I would. We've already, this fiscal year, we spent about $30,000 less because we sprayed ourselves. And then, but I didn't budget for that, right? Because that was a decision that we made after budget. So I would cut our spraying budget by $30,000. One thing we've talked about a little bit, and I've checked with my neighbors, is getting out of the driveway culvert repair business. Most counties are out of that. We repair existing ones, we don't install new ones. Cost for a pipe is about $800 to $1,000. Rock itself is another $500 or $600 plus our labor, so a couple $1,000s on a driveway culvert. If we do 20 of them a year, I mean, that really adds up. Plus it, you know, if we didn't do it, it would be back into the local contractors would get money to do that, you know, your local guys, and that would be that. Another thing I would definitely look at, and it was on that list I gave you guys, back a year ago or so, if possible. The other would be to, you know, switch from the treated salt back to regular salt. You know, we pay a bit of a premium to get the green treated salt. It has magnesium in it, calcium in it. It does work faster. You know, we haven't had the cold that we've had in the past, that we could just go back to pure white salt mixed with sand, of course, because we always cut it. So, you know, that could, you know, the driveways could save us 20 to 30,000. Switching salt, depending on how many you use a year, could be like 25,000. And then spraying, we've already done that one, and say that's about 30,000. So I mean, those are cuts that we can make without seeing a lot of difference to people on the road. It doesn't affect safety very much, you know what I'm saying? But these are real cuts that we can make, changes from the way we're and you know that, you know, that those are things we can do to cut our expenses a little bit. It doesn't really affect what you guys have to transfer, but it would give us a little more gap. In 2023, you know, we had a budget, we used to spend 250 to 300,000 less in our budget, but as I've kept our budget flat and it's caught up. Last year, we spent all the 80,000. I'm predicting this year that we're in, we'll spend 100% of it. And then next year would be a little bit above, and if we cut back, I mean, it would keep it closer.
Well, early on, we was talking about, you said that you might have to cut back on gravel purchases and stuff like that. And that's what can we do to keep up our roads and.
I think long term, I think long term, because we still have the problems, you know, this year's kind of weird, and we all know it's weird because of the inflationary and the wages and all that. But after we're done with this, even if it goes up costs go up at 5%. You know, that's still 200 and some thousand a year increase in costs, and just doing what we're doing. So, you know, I mentioned that at some point we may have to look at when we have retirements of decreasing our staff or closing shops or things like that to keep from eating into our auditor's balance for things beyond construction. You know, on this budget, I'm gonna have two bridges, and both of them I would rather replace them with actual bridges, but we'll do tank cars because they are effective. I mean, it doesn't look beautiful, but it allows farmers to get across with their heavy loads and all that. Because we've got 6, 7, 8 local bridges that have weight restrictions on them, and obviously as they age, those restrictions go from 25 tons down to 15 tons. We got one that's only 6. I mean, we get a lot of traffic, but again, those deterioration of our system happens. So that's kind of why I've been asked some of the questions and all these things, because I'm a planner, right? I'm an engineer, I'm a planner, and you know, I make decisions on equipment based upon the work that we're planning to do over the lifetime. You know, a dump truck is going to be on the road for 16 to 20 years. A motor grader will be on the road 13 to 14 years now. It's just big decisions to make. So,
Yeah. And we've just crawled out from under a bunch of old radiators.
yeah. We're actually on a system now where we're alternating years versus doubling up. I mean, there's years we bought 2 dump trucks sitting here because they're falling apart, but now we're saying, yeah, I mean, we, you know, got rid of our last 19-year-old one this past year. So hopefully in that, and then, we'll work in our sign truck and the supervisor's truck. I mean, it's just 36,000 miles on it a year, it's really. 3 years and that's 110 on it, so. All right, guys, well, thank you, and if you have any questions, let me know. Anybody else has any questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Kurt, we go ahead and do yours. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Increased, got some claims closed and added 5 new ones since the beginning of the new year. Budget looks good, good glide path to the end. A third, and that shouldn't be spent, it should be a third remaining, 33% remaining. Forecasted the budget for my conference in Denver. It's be about $2,200. Most of that all of it can come out of the grant funds. No changes this month with nursing home numbers. Had a couple of utility uses. You look at my budget, the one where I'm really immensely overspent in percentage wise is utilities for some relief. And had a couple, one person got hurt and they were not able to work and they were, so. But looking back at Adam's numbers, it fluctuates quite a bit, depends on what's going on with people, but there's money to move around inside the budget still. 2 rides today for the van, both of them called and asked to be canceled. People thinking ahead, I'm glad for it. This past weekend, we Danny Vogler contacted Jeanette before the holiday and asked if there was anything I could do to help coordinate veterans pheasant hunt. I reached out to as much as I could. I actually got quite a bit of interest all the way from Arkansas to Ohio to Minnesota. If that's wanted to come up. I maintained that it was a local group that went. It was very successful. We're looking to do it. He wants to do it annually, a recurring event. And we might be able to do it a couple times a year, maybe even. I did give him a certificate of appreciation. I threw my logo on one corner and then the county logo on the other corner. And he seemed to be very appreciative of that. And that's it. Any questions? No, on that C-bus, I met with Mike yesterday and we talked about, and I'll get some more information, but veterans, seniors, whatever, but we got where we can get more rides to hospitals, even shopping. We're trying to get that, looking at say like groceries for people that does not ride. And I'll get more information back, but we're working on something now that for seniors or vets or whoever, but if they would need to go to Burlington for the hospital because they're not going up to the VA,
Right.
We can. And working on trying to get rights good.
And the van can be utilized. In the past, we've only used it to go to Iowa City and back.
Yeah.
If it's a VA approved appointment, for instance, I use community care, all of my appointments are in Burlington.
Yeah.
We could use the van to go to any VA approved appointment. I'm not having anyone request that.
And yesterday, what we talked about too, as far as, because I have a lot of seniors in the same way, vets, if they can't get out and drive anymore, that they'll take them to like Walmart or wherever store for shopping. If we get a grocery store going up here, we can take them there. But it's somewhere to get extended, so we're trying to get that scheduled so they can just call.
And that's the county picking that up, or?
It's the Southeast Region Plan, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's through grants, it's through several of the things, workforce, budgeting, got some money going in there. Medicaid, Medicare goes in through that. It's different pots. Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming in. I didn't think you was.
Thanks.
It just took a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, are you? Leah, can you hear me?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. If you're ready, we are.
Okay. So the biggest thing, oh gosh, sorry. Just as I started talking.
We like looking at the top of your head.
Oh, okay. So we have hired a new RN to take my position. She started yesterday. So working through that orientation process, that's been a big focus of my time lately. So and then the budget, working on the budget. We do have a Board of Health meeting scheduled today, so I'll be presenting that to them today. That's kind of the biggest stuff in our world right now.
Still have it scheduled for 11?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when Jacinta was available.
All right.
I really don't have much more than that right now.
Okay. Hopefully we have a quorum. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll be there, so.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas for a new director for your ward?
Oh, for the Board of Health?
Yeah,
I do not personally have any ideas. No, I don't think we got any applicants that I know of.
right. Well,
It's on our agenda to discuss at the board meeting today too, so.
well, we always try to get someone with a medical background and Sean's a mechanic, I'm a farmer, we don't have a lot of medical background.
Drive an ambulance once in a
Yeah,
while.
well,
I have somebody in mind. We'll discuss it this afternoon.
good.
Okay. All right. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay.
Okay, we got, so what else we gotta do on the board plans? We gotta find somebody for the Board of Health.
I'm working on that. I got something brewing.
So we gotta find somebody for Board of Adjustment.
Yeah.
And we gotta find somebody for the planning and zoning.
And we've got it. Do we have to have 3 on the landfill board?
No, Jack, I haven't talked to him. I mean, he's still coming to meetings, but I'm gonna try to get all of these,
Okay, and then you guys, motioned in second for Randy.
Randy's on there.
Yep, okay,
And I'll try to continue to get a hold of Jack.
okay.
Then I think we pretty much got it, but we need, one on each zone, adjustment and, planning and zoning. And I think we got it.
We are. Do we table that till next week till we get those 2, or do we?
But we need to work on trying to figure out who. All of us need to kind of cap on, see. And look at the areas where they're at in the county and I think we need to. We have one over just outside of Wapple, that's a Columbus address, so you probably need to get one northwestern or northwestern part of the county.
For Board of Adjustment.
Probably both.
Or planning and zoning and.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, it can't be too picky. I mean, you do what you can, but.
Yeah, but that's, I'd like to
Yeah,
concentrate.
no, I agree.
Yeah, we need,
If we can, and
So we're not going to approve that today?
we can,
let's leave it open and try to come up with.
Okay,
quite done with it yet.
Okay.
On your website, under the historical. It still has Randy Griffin listed as supervisor.
Yeah, when we get this all done, we'll have to go through and update everything and get it fixed up, because there's 22s on some of our stuff that we did last year too, so, yeah, duly noted.
yeah.
Okay.
I've been a little busy.
Oh, well.
Anything else?
Good. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
One second.
Meeting's adjourned.
Wow, some more.
It looked like it stopped.
Yeah, I did.